Hey everyone, Cidsa here with today's review of Echoes of Aetheria. Just a quick disclaimer as per the usual. I received this game from the developer, however, all opinions remain my own, and no money has changed hands. Echoes of Aetheria is a turn-based RPG from Dancing Dragon Games, the same people that brought you Deadly Sin 2, and Skyborn. On first glance, you can probably tell that this is an RPGmaker game. And yeah, I know, a lot of RPGmaker games are not that great.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
However, Dancing Dragon actually puts quite a lot of effort into their games, which really makes them feel like finding a diamond under mountains of Actually, I'm gonna go way out on a limb with my opinion on this one. And that's like, if this had come out during the SNES era, I think this one would easily stand up against my absolute favorites on that system. Yeah, it stands up against things like Chrono Trigger, Lufia, Lufia 2, etc. Am I blowing your mind right now? I was pretty surprised too, to be honest. I knew I'd like this game because I did enjoy their last few titles, but I didn't think I'd like it this much. Okay. Let me go into why I think this way. When you boot it up, it looks like your typical RPGmaker style game. The map graphics are pretty typical for this sort of thing, and the story is pretty simplistic as well. But then you see that unique grid-based battle system with the particularly nice looking graphics. Then you get a little deeper and realize the battle system is a little more complex than you're used to. There's all sorts of placements to think about and skills to use. This is definitely not a push X to win type of game. Even the armor system is pretty in-depth. Crafting was a really fun part of this game, and it was definitely something that you couldn't overlook, otherwise you would get yourself killed repeatedly. This complexity was honestly really refreshing. So many RPG makers are just absolutely bog-standard RPGs. So it's really amazing to see them put so much extra effort into it. Another thing I was really happy to see was that there were no random battles. I don't mind random battles when the dungeons aren't really complicated, but when they are... The enemies also didn't respawn like crazy, so it wasn't painful to go and backtrack. As someone who inexplicably loves RPGs but loathes dungeons, this was great. And that's a lot of the gameplay stuff, but what really got me with this RPG was everything else. The first thing I really need to point out here is that absolutely phenomenal soundtrack. The composer's name is Phil Hamilton, and I believe he's only worked for Dancing Dragon Games. And that's honestly a bit surprising because this is really good stuff. Like, so good, I think bigger companies should be looking to hire this guy. Stat. Seriously, I mean it. I went and bought the soundtrack for this, and I hardly ever do that. I also need to gush about the artwork in this game. While the map screens are a little bit typical, I think they were put together really well. I particularly like the dungeon designs. I thought they were well constructed, and the later ones were brain-teasery enough to keep the challenge up. The in-battle graphics are where this game really shines, though. I love pixel art, and this stuff looks absolutely great. It really made me think of some of the greats, like Suikoden 2, Chrono Trigger, etc. Bright, colorful, well-animated, what else could you possibly ask for? I guess less recolored enemies, but whatever, I'll let that go. The artist for the character portraits is absolutely no slouch either. They really pulled off making great looking but also memorable characters. And that all leads me to the story. Well, I guess it's a pretty typical story of political espionage. It was still completely enjoyable. And really what made this whole experience were the characters. I thought they were well written, memorable, and really likable. Unlike many games I played these days, I was actually really invested in what was happening. I played for hours and hours and hours on end just wanting to know what was going to happen. Without giving any spoilers away, there is a love plot that develops, and it actually surprised me. I didn't think it was going to go the way it did at all. Not only that, but it actually felt quite natural in the story as well. So huge props for adding that element to the story and not having it just shoehorned lazily in. The only real shortcoming of this game is that I just didn't want it to end. I think that's really the true sign of a great game. Alright, so you probably already kind of guessed my opinion on this one, and it's obviously go buy it, go play it, go love it. And I know I'm gonna have a whole bunch of people down my throat being like, oh, you oversold it, we couldn't enjoy it that much because you hyped it so much. But whatever, you guys. It's awesome. Go play it. I know I probably can't pry you away from XCOM 2 when that drops, so buy this first and play this. You know what I'm gonna go do? I'm gonna go play through it again. Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe for more. Also check out all my social media accounts to see what I'm up to. And maybe hit up my Patreon to help me do this full time.